Hi everyone, welcome back to Yoga on Ashley G Wellness. My name is Ashley, and today we are going to be doing a quick 20-minute hip release yoga practice. This practice is really great if you have hips that tend to be tight or weak, not super strong. So we're going to be working with both toning the muscles of the hip area and also stretching these muscles. We'll start out with a lot of alternating between toning, then relaxing, then toning again, then relaxing again. And toward the tail end, we're going to be doing some nice, juicy, deep hip stretches. I hope you enjoy. Let's start in a downward facing dog. Go ahead and take your hands all the way up to the front, feet back, and lift your knees up. Reach your thighs back, heels toward the floor. And then just let your head drop here for a second. Feel free to bend and straighten your knees one at a time, or at the same time, walking your dog for the down dog jog. Staying connected to your breath. And then bringing your feet together, step your right foot outside your right hand for a dog lunge. Take your back heel to the floor. Walk your hands forward and to the left. Keep your weight in your feet. Swing your hips a little to your left as you widen your right knee to the right. Push your arms down and forward, and then reach your heart through your arms toward your legs. Come back to a downward dog. Switch to the other side. Take your left foot outside your hand. Back heel to the floor. Widen your left knee to the left. Walk your hands forward. Swing your hips slightly to the right. Push your back foot down and toward the left side of your mat. Slow, deep breaths. Even push a little bit more through your left heel. That'll activate your glute muscle. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Warrior one, spin your back heel to the floor. Lift your torso, lift your arms. Push through your back foot so you take some of that weight out of your front knee. Pull your right hip back and your left hip forward, and then try to sit a little bit deeper so your right thigh gets more parallel to the floor. Pull your ribs back, tailbone forward, lift through your sternum, maybe even look upward. Take your hands to the floor surrounding your right foot, then spin your back knee to the floor. Slide your hands back, slide your left knee back, and then lift your right toes so your right leg is straight for half leaping monkey, half Hanuman. Walk your hands forward. Maybe drop heart first, head last, face toward your shin. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward, and let your right leg grow longer. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward between your hands. Back heel to the floor. Press your feet down, lift your torso up, arms up, stretch tall. Pull left hip back, right hip forward to square your hips. Draw your ribs back, tailbone forward. Reach through your fingertips, maybe look up. Lower your hands, lower your back knee, and then slide your hands back, right knee back, lift your left toes, lengthen and lower. Heart first, head last. Maybe walk your hands forward. Drop your head and breathe. Downward facing dog. Step to the middle of your mat, and then just pivot on your mat so you're facing a long edge. Bend your knees, step or jump your feet wide. Place your hands on your hips, move your shoulders back, and slowly stand up. Take your arms wide, turn your right toes out, tone your thighs and lift your kneecaps here. Now keep your back thigh toned and your kneecap lifting as you bend your right knee, but push longer through your left leg so you keep that weight out of the front knee. Now push your right knee a little to the right, clamp your right heel toward your hip, and you'll activate your hamstring and your glute muscles on that side. The more you push through your left heel, you'll also tone your outer left glute. Gaze softly beyond your right fingers. Triangle pose, straighten your right leg, lean your hips to your left, torso to your right, reach right hand to shin, ankle, or the floor, tone and turn your abdomen toward the ceiling, reach your arms and legs longer, stretching the muscles you just toned and used. Slowly stand back up, switch to the other side, turn your right toes in, left toes out. Look beyond your left middle finger, bend your left knee. Push down through your back foot, especially your heel. Pull your left heel toward your left hip. Push your arms longer. Widen your left knee more to the left. Don't hold your breath. Soften your gaze. Soften your jaw. And straighten your left leg, tone thighs and lift kneecaps. Lean hips to your right, torso to your left, triangle pose. Left hand to shin, ankle, or the floor, or a block. Be as sideways as possible. Get super length between your hips and your armpits. Pull those points away from each other. And slowly stand back up. Turn your left toes in. Bring your fingertips in front of your chest, bend your knees, step or jump feet together, arms by your side. Turn and face the front of your mat, and then come back to the back third of your mat. Take your arms over your head. You can also do cactus arms or arms back behind you like locust arms for warrior 3. Step your right foot a step forward, and then lean from your back foot to your front foot. Come onto your back tippy toes. Almost lift your back leg off the floor so you're turning on that whole leg. Now push strongly through your right foot, your ball of your foot and your heel. Now hold steady here. This can be good enough, or hinge forward so you're at a diagonal between your torso and your back leg. You could stay here or go more toward parallel to the floor. Maybe go all the way parallel to the floor, pull your ribs back, push your legs longer. Act as though you're bending your right knee to keep your right hamstring safe. Clamp your heel toward your hip. All right, listen carefully. Step way back with your left leg. Take your left arm all the way forward and to the left. Turn your back outer foot to the floor, and then heel toe your right foot a little to the right and turn it out. Now, slowly slide your left foot back and take your hip to the floor. Stay working here, or take your right arm to your right knee, palm pointing up. Make sure you don't collapse into your left shoulder. Grow your arm longer so your shoulder and ear grow further away from each other. Great. Come all the way back out. Step your right foot back next to your left foot. Walk your hands back and stand up. All right, going for the other side. Step your left foot one step forward. Take your arms in whatever variation you chose the last side, and then lean forward. Come onto your right tippy toes, and then stay working here. Maybe come a little diagonal. Stay working here, or come all the way toward parallel to the floor. Tone your left thigh, lift your kneecap, pull your ribs back, push both legs longer. Push through your left heel and the ball of your foot. Flare your toes. Step way back. You can adjust your legs on your mat if you need. Take your left leg to the left, turn your toes out, turn your outer right foot to the floor. Take your right hand a little more to the right, lower your right hip. Turn toward your left leg, take your left arm to your left knee. Feel free to walk your right arm further out. Pull your shoulder back. Slowly come back to your hands and feet. Lift your hips. And then step your right foot forward. Stand up. Turn and face the short edge of your mat again. Bring your fingertips in front of your chest, bend your knees, step or jump feet wide. All right, turn your toes out to the sides, bend your knees, then bend your elbows. Pull your elbows back and down, lift up through your sternum. Now clamp your heels like you're pulling your heels toward your hips, toning your legs. It's like a double warrior two. Breathe here, maybe look up. Feel free to add some Kali breaths with your tongue sticking out if you want. Those can be helpful getting through the stressful moment. Straighten your arms, straighten your legs, turn your toes forward and in slightly. Take hands on hips, keep thighs, toe, kneecaps lifting. Lean hips back, torso forward, and fold between your legs. Heart first, head last. Push through your inner and outer feet. Lift your inner arches of your feet up. Pull your shoulders away from the floor and onto your back. Great, inhale, lengthen your spine. Place your hands to the floor. Bend your knees, step or jump your knees to the floor. All right, have a seat. Go ahead and take your legs straight out in front of you. And then take your right knee on top of your left knee and point your knee forward. Your knees don't have to stack all the way. Do your best. Clamp your right heel toward your left hip. Lean to your left, bend your bottom knee, pull that heel toward your right hip. Now you can stay here. This can be a good option, or you can take your legs out like longhorn pose, which is cow face, only your legs are straight out to the sides. My favorite because it's a little bit more of a hip stretch in a certain area. Now you can stay here or fold all the way forward for more intensity. Take some deep breaths. Inhale slowly, lift your chin, slowly sit up. And slide your right ankle to your left knee, your right knee to your left ankle. If this is too intense, always feel free to do the leg crossed in front. So that would be right shin in front of left shin instead of right shin on top of left shin. You can stay working here or place your hands into your feet, push feet into hands, and then again, stay long in your spine as you reach heart first, head last, folding forward. If you can keep your legs active and your feet active in this way, feel free to take your arms out in front of you to the floor for a more restful variation. Inhale, slowly come back up. Great. Take your legs forward, flare your toes, twin your thighs, and lift your kneecaps. And then take your left knee on top of your right knee. Squeeze your legs in, lean to your right, pull your right heel in. Feel free to keep the closed variation, heels to hips, or go for longhorn variation, shins out straight to the sides. Stay lengthening your spine. Maybe you stay here or fold forward. Inhale, slowly lengthen. Slide your top shin all the way on top of the other shin or your left shin in front of your right shin. Push through your big toes and then push through your outer feet. Maybe lean forward and fold. Feel free to place your arms on the floor and rest. Next inhale, slowly come back up. Take your legs out to the sides like Upavishta Konasana legs. Point your toes and kneecaps straight up. Keep your lower back lifting in and up. You could stay like this, especially if you have low back stuff and it hurts to fold forward. Otherwise, walk your arms forward, keep your toes and kneecaps up, and fold between your legs. Feel free to do the splat variation where you come all the way down onto your chest. Maybe even grab your big toes, chin to the floor, and breathe. Next inhale, slowly lengthen your spine and sit back up. Grab under your knees with your hands, pull your legs in, and then from here, cross your ankles, and then come forward. So this next one, it might be helpful to have some padding, extra padding underneath you on your mat, so like a couple of blankets if you have knees that don't like this position, and you'll see where we're going. So you could do this without, and just point your toes straight out so you're on your inner knees. And your hips might be super high, and if that's the case, just have your hands underneath you. You can use blocks to raise the floor up, and then just try eventually sliding your knees out a little wider. That might not happen. It's okay if it doesn't. Otherwise, you can also, if you're fine there and you want to go deeper, you can take your forearms to the floor and then slide your knees out a little bit wider. Some people even find they can come all the way to the floor flat on their torso. If that's you, go for it. Now do push your hips back toward your heels. This is giving a big inner thigh, inner hip stretch, especially in the groin area. We like to call this froggy pose. Then place your hands on the floor. In order to come out, if you're down really low and your hips are pretty much almost on the floor, you could pull yourself forward and then slide your legs back. If you were up high, just push your weight into your hands and lift your torso up and slide your knees together. All right, go ahead and come onto your back. Take your knees to your chest and then pull your legs up so that your shins are straight up and down and your thighs are parallel to the floor. You can stay like this, just grab onto your legs or extend your legs towards straight beyond your head, allowing your lower back to lift off the floor, maybe wrapping your arms around your outer calves, maybe all the way to the backs of your calves. And use your hands and your arms to root your legs down into the hip socket, and then push your legs back against your hands. So there's an even push and pull. And slowly bend your knees. Roll back down. Maybe take a happy baby. Push your feet into your hands, hands into your feet. Gently rock side to side. And then whenever you're ready, come all the way out into Shavasana. Thank you all so much for coming to practice with me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.